Okay, so you've probably heard of the axolotl, right? That amazing little salamander that can regenerate its own limbs? But what if I told you that's not even its coolest trick? We're about to dive into a brand new discovery that reveals a secret superpower. It's not just about healing from the past. This creature actually prepares for the future.
I mean, let's be real. The axolotl is already a total biological superhero. Its main claim to fame, its whole thing, is regrowing pretty much any body part. We're talking limbs, bits of its brain, even its heart. It's an absolutely incredible feat, and scientists have been fascinated by it for decades.
But, well, it turns out that's not the whole story. Not even close. The research we're going to break down today shows that this superpower has a hidden layer. It's a feature that is way more sophisticated than anyone ever imagined.
So think about this for a second. What if an injury didn't just, trigger a local repair job? What if losing a limb actually sent a signal to the entire body? A signal that prepares it, makes it stronger, and gets it ready for whatever's coming next? Well, that is the exact question this new science finally answers.
And what scientists are calling this is systemic activation. Okay, so don't think of it like putting a Band-Aid on a cut. This is more like a full-body, video game-style power-up. An injury to just one part of the axolotl literally kicks its entire system into a higher gear.
So here's the core idea. Systemic activation basically means that when an axolotl loses, let's say, its front left leg, cells in its other legs, its tail, all over its body, they all kick into action too. They aren't injured at all, but they get the message and they go on high alert, just waiting for what might come next.
Which, of course, leads to a really cool question. Why? What's the point of this whole high alert state? I mean, what happens when an axolotl that's already powered up from one injury suddenly gets a second one? This is where the experiment gets super clever. Okay, so here's how they set it up. The researchers took a group of axolotls, and first, they amputated a single limb. This was to trigger that systemic power-up. Then, they just waited a week. After that week, they went in and amputated a different limb. The whole point was to see how fast that second limb healed compared to another axolotl that was just getting its very first injury.
And whoa, look at these results. It's just incredible. On the left, that's what normal healing looks like after 25 days. But on the right, that's the limb from the primed axolotl. The difference is just stunning. You can see the primed limb is way more developed, the little digits are already starting to form, it's healing so much faster. And here's the data to back it up. So, the key to regrowing a limb is forming something called a blastema. Think of it like a little bud of stem cells that's going to become the new limb. And this chart makes it super clear. The blastema on that primed limb was way, way bigger than the normal one. It just had this massive head start.
So why the huge head start? Well, this image explains it all. We're looking at the tissue inside a primed limb. See all those glowing magenta spots? They're highlighting a super important gene for regeneration. And it's obvious, right? There are just so many more of these crucial rebuilding cells ready to go in the primed limb. I love this analogy. It's like having your construction crew already on site with their tools out before the work order even comes in. Okay, so this all leads to the big mystery, right? How in the world does an injury in one leg send a get ready signal all the way to another one? Well, the secret, it turns out, is hiding in the nervous system. The process is called adrenergic signaling. Now, I know that sounds super complicated, but I promise you've felt this before. It's basically the body's super fast messaging network. It uses adrenaline-like chemicals. You know that jolt of energy you get when you're scared or really excited? That's your fight or flight response, and it's the exact same system at play here. And this is where it gets really cool. The axolotl's body uses just one signal to give two totally different commands. Think about that. Far away from the injury, that signal is like a system-wide alert, telling cells everywhere else to get primed and ready. But right there at the wound, the exact same signal acts as a local rebuild command, basically yelling, okay, start rebuilding right here, right now.
So you gotta ask, why? Why would this incredible ability even evolve? This isn't just some neat party trick that only happens in a lab. For an axolotl out there in the wild, this whole systemic activation thing is a huge key to survival.
And the researchers put it perfectly. Faster recovery is absolutely critical for survival. I mean, axolotls in the wild are dealing with predators all the time, and they're also known to nibble on each other. So getting one injury is pretty common, which means getting a second injury is highly likely. Being able to heal that second one faster, that could literally be the difference between life and death. But here's a crucial detail. This high alert state doesn't last forever. The research found that the whole priming effect actually wears off in less than 4 weeks. It's a temporary boost, a short-term burst of energy to get through a really dangerous period. And that makes perfect evolutionary sense, right? You don't want to be burning all that extra energy when you don't need to. So we're left with this one last incredible thought. We just saw how an axolotl's body can literally learn from an injury to better prepare for the future. And that just has to make you wonder, what can we learn from the axolotl? And how could these secrets one day unlock new ways to help our own bodies heal?